Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the State of the A podcast here on the Atlanta Sports Dan YouTube channel. Today, we have a couple questions, 10 questions about the Atlanta Falcons going into 2024. There's going to be some questions that will be answered over the course of the year. Some good questions, some thoughtful questions, and some questions that, why? First off, how will Kirk Cousins perform? We know he's coming off of that Achilles injury. We've seen it a little bit in training camp. How will he look? He's looked really good through what we've seen so far, but how will he look in the actual game reps? Because practice and game are two different things, right? Can't wait to see him in the preseason. Can't wait to see him week one versus Steelers and throughout all 18 weeks that the Atlanta Falcons play on that schedule. Number two, in what ways will Zach Robinson open up this offense? At training camp, the open practice they had at Secondary High School a few days ago, I got to see what kind of formations he came out in. I saw him coming out in a lot of pistol formation, which is really, really interesting. I don't think of pistol when I think of Kirk Cousins, but that's something you're going to see a lot from the Atlanta Falcons coming into 2024. Is a lot of pistol, a lot of shotgun. Not that many drop backs. Get the ball in the quarterback's hands as fast as possible. Get them up and ready to throw to get the ball to one of our dynamic playmakers up there. Um, how will our D line look at the end of free agency? Well, how will they perform? Say that. How will our D line perform after all the free agency departures, after losing Calais Campbell, after losing Bud Dupree? Um, I think the defense will be just fine. I think you keep Troy Anderson, you keep Caden Ellis, you get Grady Jarrett back. You know they're gonna double Grady, so you know that opens up everybody else on the edge to kind of free roam, do their own thing. So I think the D line would do just fine. Um, Number four, if the Falcons lose early on, do we panic? No, there's no reason to panic if the Atlanta Falcons start 1-2, start 1-3. That is a tough 3 game stretch. You have the Steelers, tough 4 game stretch to be honest with you. You have the Steelers at home, at Philadelphia on Monday Night Football. Then you come back and play the reigning Super Bowl champions on Sunday Night Football, and then you play your arch rival at home. That's That's 3 hard games in a row. So if the Falcons start off 1-3, don't say it's time to blow the team up because it's really not. That's 3 tough games that you don't know how they could end up. They can go one way or the other. Um, Number five, will not focusing on defense and free agency come back to bite us? That's something we got to see when the season starts. Again, you lose someone like a Calais Campbell who led the team in sacks last year. You lose someone like a Bud Dupree who was second in sacks last year, and a lot of people look at it and it's like, how will we look? Will the secondary be able to look good? Will the defensive line be able to get that pressure to put pressure on the quarterback? That's something I have to see as the season goes on, as the season starts. Come a few days. It's a few days, man. First game's on the 9th. It's a few days until the Falcons take the field again in Miami to play the Dolphins. If shit hits the fan, do we become deadline sellers? I don't think so. I think you go out get Kirk Cousins. You know that you have 2 years to win a championship with Kirk Cousins if you want to do that. So I don't think you blow it up just yet. I say next year, if it really goes bad, then you start to think about, okay, can we trade Kirk Cousins? Can we get rid of some of the other guys who are taking up cap space? And get rid of a Grady Jarrett, who's getting old, who's only getting older. But right now, I think you're in it to win it this season. And deadline, deadline or not, record doesn't matter. You're here to win football games, especially in a bad division like the NFC South. You never know what's going to happen. I could say us being biased though at the deadline. If we're in a close race, I could see us becoming buyers going out to get a cornerback, a receiver, somebody to help out the secondary and wide receiver core, and to give Kirk has another weapon to get the ball to, or the secondary another like line of defense to give the offer to break if he needs it. Give Terrell, give Clark Phillips, give JB a break if they need one. Um, How soon will it be before we see Michael Penix? Um, at that open practice at second year high school, Penix looked really, really good. I think he'll look good in the preseason. I think he'll get his first action in week 17. The Falcons will have the division wrapped up, and I think the Falcons will just trot him out there, not wanting to hurt Kirk Cousins or anybody else. So they'll give Penix a start there. Um, One of the biggest rule changes of this past season was the kickoff rule. You have the XFL kickoff rules now, where the kicker is by himself on a 35-yard line. He kicks it off the landing zone with 20 yards in the end zone, and then you have the both teams lined up 5 yards apart on I think the 25 and the 30-yard line. Who will handle it? Will it be Koo? Do you get somebody who does not shy away from the contact and wants to go down there and hit somebody, or do they go opinion, who's just gonna boot it as far as he can? I think you go Koo. And I know Koo's been our normal kickoff guy. I feel like he hasn't done it that much in a while, but Koo is definitely the guy to keep keep that going. Um, what should we expect from the Falcons in 2024? No less than 10 losses. No, ooh, wow. No less than 10 wins. Look at this roster right now. Look at the schedule in front of us and tell me right now. Tell me tell me 7 teams on our roster on our schedule right now that can beat us, because you can't. You just can't. There's not 7 teams on our schedule better than us. 10 wins minimum, playoff berth, home game at the Benz. I'm calling it right now. And the reason why I say that is question 10. Why not us? The Falcons have been wanting quality play for years now. We haven't gotten it since 2017 when we lost to the Eagles in the divisional. Why not us? Why not just some kids playing football off I-85? That's all I got. That's all I got. Those are the questions about the 2024 Atlanta Falcons. If y'all like this one, hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you follow the State of the A podcast, and I will see you guys next time with another banger. Peace.